I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Cortland City Council. Today is Monday, July 15th, 2024. Invite everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a brief prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to serve you and to serve the city. We ask for your wisdom and guidance on the decisions before us this evening. We ask this in your name. Amen. Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Jim Bradley.
Here.
Kathy Fleischer.
Here.
Dick McLean. John Moore.
Here.
John Bacuri.
Here.
Scott Rowley. Kevin Pyros.
Here. May I have a motion for the approval of minutes from the July 1st, 2024 council meeting?
So moved. Second.
Any corrections? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
John Moore.
Yes.
John Bacuri.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. May I have a motion for the approval of scheduled bills to be paid totaling $155,295.27.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
John Moore.
Yes.
John Bacuri.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. May I have a motion for the approval of bank reconciliation ending June 30th of 2024?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
John Moore.
Yes.
John Bacuri.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Here we'll move on to old business. First up is ordinance O-35-24, an ordinance creating two positions of Associate Service Director for the City of Cortland and establishing the wages, benefits, and terms of employment for the position. This is the second reading submitted by the Service Director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Can I have a roll call?
John Bacuri.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Ordinance O-36-24, an ordinance appointing and setting the wages and benefits and establishing the terms of employment for the Associate Service Director of the City of Cortland, Ohio. This is the second reading submitted by the Service Director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Bacuri.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Ordinance O-37-24, an ordinance appointing and setting the wages and benefits and establishing the terms of employment for the Associate Service Director of the City of Cortland, Ohio. This is the second reading submitted by the Service Director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Bacuri.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Next is ordinance O-38-24, an ordinance amending ordinance O-06-24, authorizing the City of Cortland to pick up the statutory required contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for certain employees of the City of Cortland pursuant to IRC Section 401H2. This is the second reading submitted by the Finance Director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Comments?
Kathy Fleischer.
No.
Don Moore.
No.
John Bacuri.
No.
Jim Bradley.
No.
Kevin Pyros.
No. Okay, we're going to move on to new business. First up is Resolution R-32-24, a resolution authorizing the distribution of city wages from certain municipal funds, submitted by the Finance Director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, Patty?
This is updating our standard allowance since we are adding the position of Associate Service Director. I need a reallocation for the payroll.
Okay. Any other questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Bacuri.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Next is Resolution R-33-24, a resolution authorizing the City of Cortland's Fire Department to participate in an memorandum of understanding with the International Association of Firefighters Local 3632, submitted by the Fire Chief. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Comments, Chief?
So this just allows us to use our float position a little bit more to our needs while he goes to school. He still has some schooling to finish. The contract was very restrictive, so we signed an MOU. The union was very open, actually, they asked for the MOU. But along with that, we're making a commitment to do our best to, we're gonna staff 2 medics on duty, because we need to have 2 paramedics on duty, so. It just clears up some of the language in the contract.
Thank you, Chief. And it's not a moratorium, it's a memorandum. Maybe it's the glasses are a little dirty, I don't know. All right, any other questions of the Fire Chief? Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Burcheri,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Powers.
Yes. Next is Resolution R-34-24, a resolution authorizing the creation of a special revenue fund to be entitled Well-Filled and Generator Improvement, submitted by the Finance Director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
I need a special fund. We are the, subrecipient of a grant. This is ARPA money, therefore it needs to be in its own separate fund for tracking purposes.
Any other questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
John Burcheri,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
Kevin Powers.
Yes. Next is Resolution R-35-24, a resolution declaring it necessary to levy a tax to support the police levy fund in excess of the 10 mil limitation, submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Well, I'll start the discussion. We met with the finance committee, and the finance committee, after listening to the police chief's, report, I would say, decided that it would be in the best interest of the city to, levy a new tax, 1.5, right? 2.5, thank you. Okay, and I will let the chief,
So basically, this is, about 3 years ago, Patty told me, we're gonna need to put a levy on, we're not gonna be able to continue to go year to year. We've done all the cuts we can do as far as, through attrition, but we've lost the use of part-time officers that we relied on for so many years, and, overtime has taken a toll on us, and it's just time that this levy, if it passes, we should be able to hopefully hire 2 additional full-time officers to bring us up to, I won't say full staff, but it'll bring us up to a lot better place than where we're at, and maybe give some relief to these officers that are working a considerable amount of overtime. And it also helps us, help our operating costs. Everything has gone up. Every aspect of our operation has gone up. There's no more. I had a councilman ask me some time ago, are we at, can we get to bare bones? No special task forces, no whatever. We're there. We're at bare bones. So we need this levy. I understand it's always difficult to ask for a levy, but there's no other option for us at this point but to ask for a levy.
And I will say, in support of what the chief is telling us, he has done a ton of work to try and get additional funding. So whether it be grants, whether it be donations, so he's made this money last about as long as we can make it last. So there's not been any, any extra spending, any, unnecessary spending, so this is where we are.
In the last couple of years, we've asked for advances from the general fund to the police department to operate the first couple months until we receive our money. So, he has operated bare bones every October, November. I just thought we, but we make it. So I congratulate him on doing that, because he works very hard at that, making sure there's no extra spending.
Now, Chief, if you hire additional officers, this will reduce our overtime costs,
It should reduce some overtime, yes.
so there's some savings there.
Yes, and it gives us some more folks to share the workload with too.
Yeah.
So,
And it's cost all the way around, and we've talked healthcare, just insurance, property and liability insurance went up just this year 14%.
911 dispatching went up for the first time in a long time.
In a long time, yeah.
Uh,
ECMSI goes up every year. Just our regular operating gas has gone up every year.
Yeah. And this is, like you indicated, for the health and safety of our officers too, because they've been putting in a ton of overtime. I mean, thankfully, we have good people that are willing to do this, but, they can't keep doing this forever, so.
And I wanna reiterate that the budget we're operating on now was designed and built to operate on part-time supplementals. And we really don't have, we do have one part-timer that gives us the best he can, but he has a full-time job. But we just can't rely on part-time anymore, those days are over. So this will help us get past that dependence on part-time and not break our current full-timers.
Chief, right now, am I correct that often, based on your staffing, you have to mandate officers to work
Yes.
an additional whole shift
Yes,
over,
yes,
and that's leading to the increased overtime.
yes. There's a lot of mandated overtime. And thankfully, you guys step up and girls step up and they volunteer. I got an officer working right now that's on volunteer overtime. But they still need a break.
You've had to be on patrol yourself.
I was until 7 o'clock tonight, and then I got relieved by the officer that volunteered to come in.
And the detectives too.
And the detective works the roads all the time. So,
Thank you, Mayor, thank you, Chief. Any other questions? Okay, Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Burkiri,
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, next up is ordinance O-42-24, and ordinance repealing ordinance O-01-24, creating the position of Assistant Service Director for the City of Cortland and establishing the wages and benefits in terms of employment for the position. This is an emergency submitted by council. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a motion on the emergency?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call on the emergency, please?
Kathy Fleischer,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Burkiri,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
yes,
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. And now a roll call on the ordinance, please.
Jim Bradley,
yes,
Kathy Fleischer,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Burkiri,
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, ordinance O-43-24, an ordinance amending ordinance O-06-24, authorizing the City of Cortland to pick up the statutorily required contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for certain employees of the City of Cortland pursuant to IRC Section 414H2. This is the first reading submitted by the Finance Director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, this one replaces ordinance 3824, due to the date change that was needed for the, two positions. We needed to vote the first one down, and this one replaces that ordinance.
Thank you, Patty. Any other questions? Okay, Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Burkiri,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
yes,
Kathy Fleischer,
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Next is ordinance O-44-24, an ordinance authorizing the fire chief to purchase a new Ford E-450 Lifeline Superliner ambulance from P-Fund Superior Sales Company, Inc. This is an emergency submitted by the fire chief. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a motion on the emergency, please?
So moved.
Second.
Chief?
All right, the reason for the emergency is gonna basically protect the price. If we wait a month and a half, it's probably gonna go up like everything else. And also, it's, as you saw in the packet that was given to you, it's a 3-month bill or a 3-year bill from today. 3 months, that's what they used to be. It's a 3-year bill. So the sooner we get it started, the sooner we can get it here. We looked at 3 different manufacturers in there, not there, but 3 different manufacturers. This was, gets us the best bang for our buck, basically, and it's a really nice product. They make, Lifeline makes a really good squad.
Yeah, because we looked at, you looked at
We looked at
refitting.
refitting the 350s, and that's a roll of the dice. There's no guarantee Ford's gonna make them. They started delivering some more, as the years got on, but they're still spotty, and, you know, in a year, they may say, hey, we're not gonna, 3 years, they may say, hey, we're not gonna do them anymore. And then someone will be back asking you to get them a new squad that'll be 3 years down the road then, so.
You have Fords now?
Yep.
But you said 350s, this is the bigger one?
Yeah, we have 350s currently, this will be a 450 chassis.
Okay.
350s is, part of the problem we couldn't re-chassis is Ford moved away from the 350 last year, past 2 years. They were trying to get everyone into a Transit, those ones that Amazon delivers in, and get out of the 350, using 350s for ambulances. I think they got a lot of blowback, so they're kind of bringing them back a little bit, but I don't know that they're gonna stay with it. So,
And the cost
the cost was not that much going from, 350 to this. It was under $100,000, I believe, if my memory serves me right.
Okay, any other questions of the chief? Okay, Rhonda, can I have a roll call on the emergency, please?
John Burkett,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. And now a roll call on the ordinance, please.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Burkett,
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, next is ordinance O-45-24, an ordinance authorizing the police chief to purchase 2 Ford Police Interceptor sport utility vehicles and purchase the ready-for-patrol accessories, including the installation of those accessories from statewide Ford Lincoln Mercury. This is an emergency submitted by the police chief. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a motion on the emergency, please?
So moved.
Second.
Chief?
So, emergency, same reason, is I've been told that in, a little bit later in August here, that Ford's probably gonna raise the price. They're holding the price for us at this quote. If I get the purchase order in by the first part of August, we won't see these cars for about a year. It's just part of our routine fleet plan, and unfortunately, you can't, like Dave said, you can't order 3 months in advance anymore. Now it's a year in advance, so this isn't coming out of this year's budget. It's next year's. We've already got this year's cars. But you're gonna see this more and more of a year in advance to order, so.
And the price has gone up on these.
The cruiser price is done, if they're not, they don't give us the deal they used to give us, that's for sure.
Now, Chief, in the safety, in our meeting, we talked about being able to get the resale of the
Yes,
vehicles.
the resale of the
So we're able,
vehicles.
rather than running them into the ground and getting, $1,000 out of them, by following the fleet plan, we're able to recoup
Correct.
a decent amount of money on the used vehicles, which helps offset some of the,
Yeah, we just sold the one that we sold for this year, we got 23 grand for it, which was an outstanding, it's the most we've ever got for a cruiser.
and we were getting a few $1,000s out of the old
Yeah.
ones.
Right.
Yeah, we were,
Scrap, basically.
since we've put the fleet plan in place, we have quickly seen the fruits of our plan by the resale. What we told you would happen with the fleet plan is working. So that's why we're ordering these, so we don't get behind. And obviously, this isn't, this doesn't include like the dash cams and stuff like that. We'll get that stuff down the road, because we'll look for grants and and we'll look for grants to help with some of this if we're able to, but we'll work at it, but we have to get it ordered, so this is the first step.
I just want to thank Councilman Paturi because we are seeing the fruits of the fleet plan that he helped both chiefs develop. And this is money well spent. We'll be able to use it, and then we'll be able to recoup the cost, a lot of the costs of the newer vehicles.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
No, thank you, yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, Rhonda, can I have a roll call on the emergency, please?
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Burkey.
Yes.
Scott Riley. Kevin Pyron.
Yes. And now a roll call on the
And Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Crossed out the wrong name, sorry about that.
Now for roll call on the ordinance, please.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Burkey.
Yes.
Kevin Pyron.
Yes. All right, next is ordinance O-46-24, an ordinance whereby the city of Cortland authorizing funding to Scope Inc. to support its services for the Cortland Senior Center. This is the first reading submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Okay, so, last meeting, I think we voted for the support of the scope, funding. Now, we've received the invoice, and this is the first, reading to actually pay that invoice.
Money well spent.
Definitely.
Any other questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Burkey.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kevin Pyron.
Yes. Okay, ordinance O-47-24, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with DS Architecture LLC for professional design services for a City of Cortland Safety Services complex. This is an emergency submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a motion on the emergency, please?
So moved.
Okay, and the reason I did this is,
Need a second?
Second.
yeah,
I moved it, someone else was the second.
I
Yeah,
second.
just,
sorry.
nope, we're good.
Okay. The reason I have an emergency is because we're already 4 weeks later than I wanted to be at this point. If we pass this as an emergency this evening, then we will be able to, go out for bid in March of 2025. So, time is of the essence. We're a little bit restricted by our funding mechanism, so, and this is a good price. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, thank you, Mayor. All right, Rhonda, can I have a roll call on the emergency, please?
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Burkey.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyron.
Yes. And on the ordinance, please?
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Burkey.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyron.
Yes. All right, that concludes our new business. Department reports, first up, Chief Morris, Police Department.
Thank you very much for the support on those two ordinances. And I know the next meeting, you're gonna see another levy resolution or something like that. And then also, you're probably gonna see on the next ordinance, or next council meeting, an emergency ordinance for, I got $30,000 more for flock cameras. So we're gonna have to shuffle that money around. There's gonna be 2 more flock cameras additional, but it'll also take away some of the city ARPA funds that we spent to be able to use the state violent crime money. So I got $30,000 awarded. We gotta shuffle the numbers around to see how it's gonna break down, but you should see that in probably the next meeting in an ordinance form. And, hopefully some of that other ARPA money can be returned back to the city to use for, I assume, the building projects. Other than that, you have my report. I'll entertain any questions you might have.
Chief, appreciate seeing the flock success stories. You wanna elaborate on the one with the highway patrol?
Yeah, the highway patrol, they had a pursuit with a car doing 130 miles an hour northbound 46. The trooper lost it, and, you know, obviously when it gets that dangerous, he just kinda had to back that. He's not gonna endanger himself, and, we ran it through the flock camera system and tracked the plate, and he knocked on the door, and, when he was told it was on camera, and my understanding is he apologized for his behavior and was arrested, so.
Well done, well done.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just, either Patty or Rhonda, can you clarify, because you mentioned another resolution, can you clarify what the process is? I just don't, I want to make sure that they know there's not another levy
Want me to
resolution.
do it?
We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, what happens is you certify, you pass your first resolution.
Mhm.
Rhonda, well, I'm sure are you driving it down, you mailing it, emailing it?
I get it to where it needs to go.
Yeah, Rhonda sends it to the county will send back a certification on how much that levy would bring in and the value of the city. And then Rhonda, once again, will put on another resolution to put it on the ballot.
Yeah, the second resolution
Yeah.
actually has the ballot language in it.
So,
This resolution is just saying it's necessary for us to go over that 10 mil limitation.
and to tell us what it's going to bring in.
Thank you both, I appreciate that.
And I thank Patty, Rhonda, the Finance Committee, the Mayor, for your help in getting, working through this to allow us to put a levy on. I appreciate it.
Any other questions? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. Chief Ray, Fire Department.
Yes, thank you for the passed resolution and the ordinance. Hopefully we'll move forward. I'll let them know tomorrow to go ahead with the squad and get that on order. But other than that, it's a quiet night for me, so I'll answer any of your questions.
Any questions of Chief Ray? All right. Thanks, Chief. All right, Service Department, Patty.
Kim?
Good. I'm looking at Patty. See, we haven't heard from Kim tonight. We haven't heard from her.
She's been quiet.
Yeah, I know.
I keep it short. We have, 3 months to get all these service lines, the rest of our service lines identified. So I just wanna kind of bring it to your attention. We sent another mailing out and all the billings, that went out. One went out this past month. We'll have 2 more to get the other, other 2 went out.
I'm writing it down.
Thank you. Please put those in. We gave a couple options, if you want us, I'll send the guys out to do the identification for you. We'll try and make it as easy as possible. So, but the EPA is requiring this of us. I don't have a choice. They are mandating and that we submit this. They're looking for lead service lines. That's the whole point of this survey, to identify lead service lines, and at that point, they need to be eliminated. That's coming next. So first you find them, and then you gotta get rid of them. So right now, it's a massive spreadsheet. It's a massive spreadsheet for the information they're looking for. They're looking for required information, and right now, supplemental information is what they call it, but eventually it's gonna be required information. So we're gonna try to put as much information in, originally as possible, less work down the road, but in the process, it's just, this is something that we have to turn into them, and I want it as complete as possible. So we are asking everybody, please help. Please help, social media, whatever, please help. This is something that, we aren't trying to intrude on your life or anything like that. This is something the EPA is asking for us to do, and it's something we have to do. I don't have a choice.
How are the responses? Have we identified any lead yet?
We have a few, that don't make sense that they identified them as lead. They were built after a certain date. If your house is built after a certain date, that it's almost impossible that you have lead, because it was restricted after a certain date. I believe it was 88. I'm not sure, but, so those ones we will go out and personally identify, to make sure that, are they lead or are they not? It could be a misidentification, for whatever reason, but we will pay those locations a visit and, confirm what they have told us. So we have right now, around 1,000 out of the 3,000 accounts. So we have about a third of the responses back. So we are looking for help, the sooner the better. So otherwise, we're gonna start making phone calls.
Now, if they are lead, they have to be replaced?
It's going to be
Eventually.
coming, yeah, eventually, yeah.
At the, by cost to the homeowner?
We'll see. Yet to be determined. So, yet to be determined. Technically, yes, according to EPA, that is something the homeowner would have to take on and do, but there's also maybe some money of funding available from the EPA that could offset the cost, or it's something that, you know, the city may consider sharing the cost of, or even doing, if we only have a few. I know we don't have a lot of lead service lines. I know we don't. So, you know,
Should
the
we
few.
do 1,000? About 1,000?
Responses
Responded?
back.
Yeah,
I'll
1,000
see if we- I'll
responses.
see if we can do 1,001 tomorrow.
Okay.
And she'll take it.
1,002?
I'll take it, so, but that's all I have. So, anyone has any questions?
No, but just to reiterate what Ken is saying, you know, every municipality, village, all public water source or systems have to do this.
Correct.
The actual mandate is coming from the US EPA. Okay, so this is a nationwide effort, and the state of Ohio requires ours to be turned in October.
October 16th.
Yep. So, again, like Kim said, you know, we're not trying to pry into your business. This is just something that the EPA, is mandating that we do. And, you know, and Kim and her staff have, you know, they're graciously going out and helping those people who request it identify the pipe, if you're unable to do it on your own. So, thank you.
Yep, yeah, we're willing to help, happy to help. So, if you're not sure, give us a call, we'll come out. Only takes 5 minutes. That's it. Pretty simple.
Understand the pipe problem with the splash pad was corrected?
Yes, yes. We went out next day and Mike moved a few things around and I don't think it's spraying that direction anymore and, yeah, so.
I think they moved to a different one there.
Yeah, I think we
That's
switched
fine.
around, it was more of a better direction, so the other one, we had a little bit more room for it to spray in opposite direction, so we're hoping to eliminate the mud puddle and didn't realize,
Very
did
good.
not realize, so, but thank you for the heads up, appreciate that.
Finance Department, Patty.
Well, thank you for your support on our legislation, and the June interest was $26,980, so we're still moving in the right direction on interest. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right, thanks, Patty. All right, Mayor.
I'd just like to thank council for your support in the emergency for DS Architecture. We'll begin working tomorrow, actually. So, thank you, and we'll keep you abreast as we have things to report. And that's all I would have unless somebody has questions.
Any questions of the mayor? All right, thank you, Mayor. Are there any committee reports this evening?
GRC met before the meeting. Kim informed us what paving's done for this year, and we just discussed some current and ongoing projects.
Kevin Finance, meeting we met last week, and that was to discuss the upcoming police levy.
Thank you. All right. Anyone from the audience with questions of council? Any announcements from council? Okay. All right, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So, second.
Veronica, roll call.
John Kerry,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
Kevin Pyro.
Yes. Thank you. And then we will have
So funding ready and that's
Potato
okay.
Consulting.
I believe it's a continual.
We'll be doing a readiness
And at this point,
report
At 7:45.
at 7:45.
meeting
So does everybody can't get
about
to use the
amount,
restroom
like
or?
this was